We take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Ngaro na lawa to kuma ta baki asira alinga da fo ko nyi founding kila
hey elafta maboro la bang kalpo efa igiso eseo na yuna jang ibadin ke yato kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet to shi muna fanno tulo yabo mano country anin fen jama isi sanno la yona wallet to kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet to kono
alkana la konda no tay ka yuna wallet anatan tolle rukan na balwo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo ne la mobile scan yo science ise maboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fongole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñu lonko e sandro se yona enterprise wato wati ani la yona wallet to la ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono
alina ngatafun nanyi yuna dimbayal tan kasandiro ke yuna biti poto alinga kata nyin ko kentat na sura ton lolu si sandiro kije se maboro fanan keje
moro jundi ana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda
Assalamu alaikum baɗigol ngal bisimillahi na Kerr Fatou programme to anka minke aramisa bi muruntana jankote ke na studio to ka kacanati mimɓe dending bankola kola of course nalɓe noma kan ala jele ko nga folo ko bi Thursday mbe honorable Ousainu Darboe sotala secretary general and party leader of the United Democratic Party Mr. Darboe, welcome back akata famandingot
akata famoti alhamdulillah contente ñin sankuto le bien jiala janto ko tenke sankuto ñako masale ngamira lokum fulan jandu tawle ko
ñina na programme fulan jangoti sankuto ko
sankuto ko ka Gambia be ani juberla be ke be konton sankuto la kadwa kara ko men bebe fudri sankuto ko no ala yembe ni bo ko no mantora kurbe fudri ñin sankuto ko no ala yembe tankama na banko ni sala ko nya sotno
wo ko mata ba na las kacha atare be silo kan no ikata no America itata no America ening ibotanu Spain ma fongola congress itata America kabral botowoto inata altata banku tamola kabral bita banku tamola ndel flo yalto nyanko yudi pingol ikata mo banku tamola bari manka cha no wota mo kon kabribe to kono len kachata mune banku tamu sababu anim fanan banku dingo lemne fale kabrale banku tamu
nyin kata programme le me yala ko ngalandi junale katu sanwo sang nga programme of activities le prepare alta ta ka fako nyin banku tamu nyin tata ka tembendi sang la karla bank kono même novembre te kata december kan kadu anyantale ninin mol denta kula watni wati ka fonti nyokan aldenta ko menale akacha banko albal halo mento mobe malondi menna kanyo haklo bulandi ala wala yatinna funti kata tamo nyinna ba jani wotema na mol ka fundile man kanye de ka fako mfamata de banku dunkol kam fon ni famata nyomale kadu karsaba na dibitol ka funtile e kata tundol to regional to ene mol ka benje to ene mol ka kajaje to e dal dibitol be ko do ko menna kamol kala mutande ala banko be alhaalo men fanto kamol kala mutande ala ani kala diptolu etella mirale mumenti party of ko la mirale mumenti woni party of na mirale lam ka national committee funtitale wa ka funtile karsaba kata banku kata kana politiko balundi na banko fanana lanjurol mumelti na bank courant mumenti ngefo na courant ni muna nyanta kala jar lante kol fanal fo hani na youth movement na fo ni kol fanalo so aman kenye de ka foko tel leader ning dala ta dam hani bare UDP la activity kam betama kanne ko nek bannak ñino ma kumfara talatamo wala ma kumfara
kabral tata banko di wole mune faale ale mune tara banko karola
banko kumbo le tara banko kam kumbo klate ko tinya ban na dama fanan suuta wolon ko molye jiko tinyata dole ko to nyawonya bari jiko soto UDP to ka fako e jikita ko UDP wala be bondila adu e jikita nyina fanan ka fako UDP te kala diamla kensanti e be ka kerla leti e jikita nyina ka fako UDP ikono UDP be kono mutalele jiktañi na fanan ka fako ila lolu hajol momenti UDP be lol la wala mel mu loptan wala kolte karang bundana ta fala ni ak mo fa kamulun kuma kurunte ba fukariya be lokurin banko kan adu jiktañi na ka fako ni fukariya UDP lesa keleno sa bondino bao ye sutero menke walong UDP la fokanglo ani ila manyalu tu momenna ibe mansa kunda kono la manyale me muta wadan ka fuko fukaro mo le mel ka fuko ibe kana fukaro kelalati ete mansa kunda palaso kela nafulu nyin dandulati
Charles ñu ma wax ne Mr. Darboe mic mi dafa nekk di shake mu ngi echo. Can you guys check it? Let me know if the mic is good now so we can, before we continue. Put your comments down, tell me if the mic is okay. Charles, can you guys check? Dañ ma ne mic Mr. Darboe mic mi mu ngi nekk di shake. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Darboe.
So, Fatou ni na temira sanji jol kabrin Gambia ya fan soto. Iko mol si jiko kumbo data sato doto keba ko mol ben kon le bi melan ka ko imeku muna ne meku kadu ko man jiyo la soto ye mira keba ba ye wuli ye korle kula o mo helle balati banko kan am helolti banko ka adu nyama ka kuma di ka foko be politique ko molla kadu ko mol melbe diam kan e ba ke kanne on camera di nyatlin camera la ila bata dalu e ba foko adu tata dawda ibe jiol fola hanin ta bladol fandol ka foko ko itel ambulance on monete motorcycle ko la ambulance mo motorcycle olte elo ambulance motorcycle nyo o fam mantra betayare so banko be bala fa dale to bal ko be lande men be sora jawleto sora jawba
ye ko fula fo jamian ka kumayata jiko ngajile hani watu na wekla page to fang e ba fula be upgrading le jambe du kula ja kamta fombe bi minto be jamano min kono bi Gambia no hanin tolla bundu ma fangola e musolu kabri wando wato do present wata mele fintide plaka ka fay ko we need water yamira hani santo la jam fango jiko mu problem woti sako jama fango jiko sako santo la yamira UDP man sakunda be munekela ka jiko ka make sure Gambia no be access to water. That's a basic civic right lom banko dingo be ila dignity pour ka jio soto ke min ke ku ke fango topoto misil meya o anin dina kote ita ke no la ni man jio soto UDP man sakunda be munekela ka make sure ko when it comes to access to water banko dingo be wo soto anyama
Mazakunda la bunda mem marta jiola karola mem water resources te wala nyante la budgetary priorities nyolo wala nyanta ko wolondi tonya ngam mako rosotole banku dol bulu Japan in particular kama ko rosote bulle barna intatulla tula mako ro damang dinin kana mol bulu fan nyanta mun kala kanda baso dolke ningol kuntu ngake water resource ngadi water resources da puru ye boreholes nyol kadon tafula pompol bawo safa ko da ko ya tane bar boreholes ya be pur ka boreholes nyol ko fenke banko kantari wo nyantale ngamira nu Minister of Water Resources ye programo sotle nu ya be for provision of water santoto nga lon kavko during our time a program on kabula normally steadfast in fact yes duly identify satolo population wise me alon kavko nyanta kabo holo sana la capacity fana nyanta kala melti la tank capacity nyanta kala melti ngano ko o identification wol ketale ban mamira di necessary follow up ni obe caring nara menga alon kafuko wala be kasoto kombo nyana kafuko ani talan nan lombe jio sotla ani ngoso do bolon ko do lanto de is ala tento para buka ko ko amman ani soto de ntata bita kan ngamira kurawdo mo sandu ntambita sato dol ngamira ka fa belingara ni kuraw man jam fanyoda falo fangde nyaay falo dindinglo yela jibirang yake falo le ka saba so with mother kafko koloni adunenta baba kele pour muso lié lo kafko be jobi la wata kenoda so falo ka saba wala fombe ni jamano men wala nyanta bang ada manka ko kole adam mande bar amanna ka kolonte me yalon kafko abitita fi on fensi ndu no kolon konde obe kura men natla melio jio min o bala mele tabra ko jiola obe kura men natla ala damane yolo bar ni lon kuti ni ko ibe hadama din topoto le nyanto le folo topoto la ni yol topoto ko don fanan nas na ki jeto mfangna ya jembita ka sandu kraw sa do ngamel ka faylu belingara ka fay belingara adu jamala fanan be na bolon kono o jamala be jeto ntata Kerr malima won fanan the same thing e be kanyin jiku and ni ko jiku it's really for me it perturbs me I can disturb back ni ko be luxury ko le funkla I can understand that but this is not a luxury.
No, this
is an absolute necessity. Me alam ko Gambia dinglu e nyanta sotlale
ye kuma do fanam fo jang wolom one of the complaints ale minister to wolom health facility ya foko hani ambulance dolu sareto leke ke ambulance olti I mean, recently, I think I will bring this up. Recently, ngaje ni watu kono diaspora club, nyunu mo leti mi alongo nte fo ni ka doko ke kabrin diaspora lota, kabrin change of government keta. Gambia no lota ye fango kafunyo kang, ika fo di diaspora club. Every year ka fundraising ke jang. Ila event u bentela ka plan, tela ka manage ka tablo wafi. You know, every year kake. For the past kabrin COVID natale fundraising back stop, but ka kodo dajale. So yeah, ward soto at the RVTH, you can find diaspora club ward. So they take money every year, thousands of dollars is kasambaje ka ward ning fenge. Recently, ye kodo kafunyomang itata in CRR charming in yanta loptano lolaje. But they started through the process, itata ministry for approval soto. They had a license and everything to go and build a health center. Because obviously, Mansakunda Tabeke and all, other Gambians also will chip in if government cannot do certain things in certain areas. Diaspora Club, it had charming a license from the Ministry of Health to build a facility there. So ngamira itata foyela berelalke, but berela dula ngamira wolungole nate iko license no revoke to build a facility. And yesterday, I know the Grand Bantaba saw my address because one of their members came there. But I personally spoke to her because I know them. I work with these people all these years. And I don't think there's anybody political among this group. Nobody is political among this because I know them. Hadilo, Malik Lula sister, all former president, Barsai, Jojo Mbai is the president of the club now. So other people, you know, it's diverse people all along. Ikoitata chairman Purkoloptano Loje, I guess the biggest obstacle min ketela problem wati wolom min ketela contact person in chairman. That is one Mr. Cham, ngamira alak UDP candidate olonung during the local government deputy Kerr Fatou. Oh, I think in wole meet for some reason, and then wole ketela contact person. Because of wole involvement, ko mu UDP leti, iko ila license no revoke le. And this is a community, me alonko, I need the health facility because I TJ. But another excuse me for government say donation or something lolaje. And the allegations is seeding jai, a minfoko, a teloko te lolaje. In fact, you will hear some more revelations on this Grand Bantabasenko. They got into the phone call with him and all the things he said, they will say that but my thing is, when it comes to providing services to our people, should that be the direction? Should it be because this person who is in contact or minkanati come to be ni UDP dingole health facility or geonati and blado to drong amanyina loloje because it's going to be seen as a political tool. How helpful is that for us, especially in a more minbesantor?
No, really, in Tilfulo kono untulo bela kachala on West Coast Radio with Peter Gomez, but near loko page abe tata nata intolam nyinti nyindulato moma nyimfonte. It all comes to that. Intolam nyinti nyindulato moma femfonte jeto mo nyanta femfolantele karinyol be fankala e ko be rally balekela oppositional lo wa myopic thinking wala ben samba kan koma agree kavoko ni matra ko masakundako your project shortly for the place, but what project woman conceive be. It cannot be ad hoc planning. Government, nyanta lonal all along. Kafoko, yening facility or apply for this facility, whether it's the World Bank or African Development Bank, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the Alona Kafoko, we are asking funding. And be funding meaning kakan. Yeah, my laughter in situation membe chairman nyanja na address. Certainly they must have done that.
Yeah.
They must have identified the maternity hall for funding. And of course, ninyi nila project na sa well yes, and ninyi natale bare government also has this plan. Let us see how we can marry these two efforts. so that the community will not suffer. Kada manke nyinde kafoko isi sital don kafoko benyin project on basamba. It must have been project me aron kafoko ya conceived kafoko nyine nyanta kala nyine nyanta chame nyanyi da. Nyine nyanta kala Kirinder in Salum or nyine nyanta kala Wasu in Nyani. It's not something me aron kafoko is sital don kafoko mbakalatin. Governments don't operate that way, or government should not operate that way. You operate according to plans. So the Directorate of Health, they knew, or they must have known, Kafoko, there is this possibility of funding. And then they should have told these people, Kafoko, yes, we appreciate Allah for Konye, but we are already marshalling funds. Because do Kafka nyoma pour kado ko nyin kake chami nyam ngale foza nsaji be ban fon sake no min tol ko tenke. But on the basis of a presentation, I tell you technical people, Alia assess, Alia approve. And to say Kafoko, maybe there are no plans we are saying, Menkofo, you are not the approving authority. The medical health personnel, the technicians, they know what is needed in their health facilities. So they will not approve something that does not conform ila criteria nying. It has to conform with the criteria. Memo mbe mesia ke kanedron adu alinga nyi mesia bula pour na banko eta nyato. As long as mbe nyi mesia kela, no, we are just in for a retrogression. Mbe muruna ko madam mane kari nyole fenke mam fem fonte ndalam député jemo mam fem fonye. And so what? Idam député ni mam fem fonye, so what? For more nyata fem fole teleba. And in the appropriate authority, the appropriate authority will yell approval. If they have any reason, Kafoko, well, bang additional funding sort of, call the people. And don't tell them we are revoking. We are revoking license. Let us marry these two efforts for the good of the community. I think that's the most sensible for me. I think that's the most sensible of dealing with it. Rather than we are revoking it. They have been given a reasonable expectation. They are coming out with this. And they are coming out with it, not for their own benefit, but for the benefit of the community. Does it matter through whom was channeled? If it was not going to be for the personal benefit of Mr. Cham. It was going to be for the benefit of the community. That is the bigger picture. But wale atna, do have political. I'm not saying have political, but I'm saying that no individual have in my fonte. I don't think that should be that should not be any good reason. That shouldn't be a reason at all. And for me, more fundamentally, the government of the Gambia must have had this plan. So they must have known about it. So they cannot now say, because sign on a funding sort of. They'll be looking for funds. It must be part of their plans. Or they could even tell the people that, well, at the end of the night, we also have this plan.
Let's see how we can work together.
Let us how we can work together.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about, how, Afrobarometer survey, 77% of Gambians think this country is going through the wrong direction. And I think generally, this is mainly because of the high cost of living, because obviously the moro da Gambian infangosel tabukaji. Bolwo dabe kolearing, kurango be siaring amansoto all the time. Cash power da share 30% increment on all of these things, and the more earning powers malafa compared to a spending minke. When government speaks, most of the time they COVID-19 le reference ko wale cool be manende for B and saying, I mean, in the reports, IMF MPC reports mimbota iko inflation ojita, but I say ko ni inflation ojita mano damantala fengo damantala. I don't know how inflation is reflected for us, but ite hamira ko mune nyunu be sa muna tina hani say COVID-19 some years back for B bankol be stabilized kana duman. I know globally prices have increased all over, but fanang it looks like ntola janni min selat wrong abukaji mune wasap.
Well, the president ni men selta abukaji karbal dal so la barakanta yalum. Because really, even import nang at a cost of $50, and the moment iba import lana, the exchange rate, $20 is later. But another, and it been a joro kala wato menna, exchange rate nyintata to $25 is. Obviously, price onying at a ginola. So, na dollars onying. For nga track make sure kafoko the currency is stable.
Yeah.
And currency in stability be depend la bank or la economic performance la kan. Atakala darkens and commodity. And we cannot continue to rely on loans and grants kafoko bena economy stabilize la wala. Our productive sector nyanta nyatli na wala, and we invest in it, yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It should not just be careful, you put in a few million dollars an investment like it. It has to be real investment. Yeah? Now, even for mola soto mantra kafaka, banganyin kibaru ko masakunda do kula ko bolla wala joy ko bo kafala ngo kimana bar nak the biggest workers wala senalalti walta fe manka foma adu wa senalalu wala bete men be fangta kafunka wa senal wala kete jo wala soto bulo yoto anoto wala karfajo sa ka ko san wasan wal ka karfajo soto wala utiyan ding eko tone ni yemme san seru nyina fane ba fankala bar se ta kamen soto seru la salarito nyina tay ba ka fulade adu ba ka fula jumaale la woni le kosulo ni la kosulo ba ka fula wala la ama it's not fair alnga hakken anga na senal alnga le hakodila hanata kafo ko masa kunda be subsidize lale ya subsidize to dia ta fang anyanta wonyale isna isi to dia ta kafo ngasana la atile but yete fang la ite nyanta jole mena yo kafo nyin do nyanta sot la dame yo to anoto e kamune vo kafo ko tiol manfa tiol mankulia tiol mankulia bare ikaku kele puru naso men sot la karodo la yo to suki senelal saja kafu ko ifanalu mo molleti mel hatita maza kuna mel hati banita ko be fonda man jubela yabe mel alon kafu ko wolle cling wolle tata yeke kuti fula wolle kete jo imol hati wo manka kurme ala kafko banko nya sasa mano nyata so ngaji kafko nyanta menkela wono nka dépense dol melke a manjare ala ningo tujeto dépense men jareta pour kake ngoke mune yatina tiyonyin iko tiyonyama amamfa yamira nari nyanta mune kala nari pour your researches nyolke and then kana yama with suggestions to farmers me yalon kafuko jari kotenke tiol sifa bari instead of yo kodo tay bodi kadi nari la e ko tay ko ke kukuntanto yalon kafuka me femfene na fa banko and ninko kukuntan bena was not used kind of very advisedly
niko kukuntan sifanyade
me difamasto me difamasto
but one constitutional requirement let
constitutional requirement ma ko ta yeta tinya rola ko loi le yallandi yeta loi ko me fo bara ma fo ko ye million ta eta be tantan ko solla ibe ni sol fala janto inila ya compinol be janda albe nyobor nal la janda kaduna moto beta ke kabe samba even 3 days before the tour starts e kamoto mem be immobilized. Do you know how much that's costing the government? Because wamoto oli inyata do ko men ke e mantra keka. That's a big drawback. Kunta yale tambita wala yamoto oli yata ye be park Denton Bridge adu wal nyata do ko la kala 3 days bijeto ene nepta and Fatou, I'm sorry, no mantra mo doyaka. But kamoto doyaka sunguti ninkile je bamoto kono. Amen. Wo manke banko constitution of ko wala nyanta kala banko ko tay tata mo ke banko dinglu yella moyla. Ila memula sula koti. Yaji be lama sukunda taman rinya. A kata nyaadi la welkan. E mafoko yenyu millionola yata ya pasar. Onda the guys ka foko luale ya hani. Luwa ma mobula tinyar la de. Go. Fasada do buka ke nomba. Jumale am ka foko kanyi million si fal da sana. Ya jame na ya jame ya be. Jumale ka foko kanyi so much millions la spend je. No, it just shows Kafoko this government has lost, its senses, its sense of direction.
45 million, you only approve new budget. Last year, Ngamere was 30 million, something like that, but they ended up spending 43 million. 60 something million.
No, last year, I think 2020, in fact 2020, I think 2021, it was 2020, it was 6 million. They ended up spending something like 32 million.
Yes.
2021, election year.
They spent 42 million.
Around 40 something million. 45.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah, you only spend the election year. So you could have a campaign. 2023, you may approve, I think, 10 million. They ended up spend about 60 million. What could you see for? Iko banko be alhalo mento. Dulati jote ba kodo nyanta dunna dame ba. Lag meme fokante. Na nari. Give them sufficient funds to do research on various types of seeds, And can it often? Can we have other varieties of peanuts? Long, I don't know what is happening, but I know that was a time. Yundum. You have farm yard there. So a trial from call kijeto. A trial snol kijeto. Katiolu. Katiol senejeto. Hanmano, bolonkono. Varieties of rice. Go to modern find narekanata. Muna yatina or research falite nari ite equivalent kodo dila. Research is not here. So that food me yalon kafu do morfang me yalon kafu ko akabui niasen akabui adu ala mo wato fana bukame pour yolike na soil contents nyol ya jube be na agronomist nyolo ye ko do ye equip ye funding dealer so that still a studies nyol isa keno bari wamanke la hajote ana tentu giraffe bijanto
giraffe project
ana tentu bijanto baya bake kan kafko teleta adu manke tade dunia be mobe ya don kafko wofana makor la le nada kana ko be makor la pour konko e bonna bo makor la nyanta ko tentu
government la plano minti ko ilafta pour saying pour kan fund ko ilafta ka rice production iba encourage kan jang ngamaro farm jele ha ja oil fana ya kumas le sain ka ko iba mando ko kega bari nga read bi newspaper to ko Ministry of Finance almost 4 billion le approve for duty waivers and near jube jama man details all based on companies jumala but ngamil long wala at some point mol min ka mano natinam banko kan kabri mano da stata ka selebake ye mune ke e duty waiver de tax breaks la di wala e ko pour domoro da setala go man sakunda la domoro da etala bari and I keep saying this wo tax 4 billion natra no jota dunta man sala ko fo kono tenum bi moma na dunta jio kunto moma nyene jio kumbola nyim banko ka
absolutely
but wo duty waivers will detail tax breaks will data to the big corporations whilst those small businesses gas hustle hand to mouth to go pay our taxes at GRA every quarter because nima jo is a problem also but ikaje ko man sakunda ka big tax breaks these big companies all ila objective ka keminti wolom pour e be minu articles especially food commodities pour ay daiji but woman Gino Hanisa, even though we withheld 4 billion, me along as a kenun na kodotinu, nga withheld puru dankodron puru some of the commodities da setala, but a man da mantrano, domoro bila da kuyata model ni kontonte siman. Unatina Hanisa mark fixed no more so no right, even though we're giving 4 billion to to companies.
Yeah, for me, duty waiver. I think of the actors in the agricultural sector, and in maybe animal husbandry and fisheries. Duty waiver, badila wala. Like Maruo.
Yeah.
Maruo farm.
Yeah.
Maruo farm. They are needly.
Yeah.
I understand Jah has also gone into rice production. Jah Fanang should really be given duty waivers. If equipment mel fenkelana, if mel import nanang. And Maruo not excise duty jofang. Nyantele yatala so that more manu become affordable.
Yeah.
To other people. But not long companies they prepare feasibility studies and make themselves eligible for duty waivers. Well, probably they are not eligible in the production sector.
Yeah.
In the economy, may come produce anything. Not industry, small industries, creating jobs and so forth. Yes, I think they should all be entitled or eligible for duty waiver. But they cannot duty waiver the more drong. Kavoko abe itermalum. Itermal shouldn't happen. Wala na kavoko na nyanta kolmel kuma yandila. Wanyanta important bagale. Ninga kul kuma yandi melam kama nyana kuma yala wala yatina hani bi imbe trinkikan noto mantano mumeke be trinkikan. And well, in any country, Minister of Finance ka assessment ke ka karnyo nyanta ka duty waiver soda, but it should not be carte blanche. Nyanta jubelale banko la kosulo bedamil banko la economy bedamil economic actors member banko ni sambala nyato your duty waiver di wala. And also, of course, we know that should also be for a limited period. It cannot be all throughout your existence.
Yeah.
There has to be a time where you must start paying duties and you must also pay taxes.
Wow. Now let's look at another thing. Right now, Minister of Finance, Kabrata Deputy Elia, Kabrata Budget President La, ako me debt distress letter. Dr. Gaji ko nyanatra no business olom biten no nyanta bankruptcy file afata nyima sakunda kabrana ta 8 years anim bitema ye julo minta ne jawra ning ya jemme la kafunyo kan atambita tile. But the explanation here is government is involved in infrastructure development, kasilol doku, access to road, because access to proper road fanang akabankola nyato ta sambentual. But for fanang, how do we contain, in as much as we want to develop, but also ngajube fanang na juluta be julo min fanantala kanam batande nyami yalanko 29% of our na budget kata debt service le so yamira ko mune solution de nyenta mune kala ka wo contain ngaje ko we are developing slowly but also we are limiting our na loan portfolio.
Well, at least Minister Atlanta Gambian Kole, we are in debt distress. You know, at least ayu Atlanta wala. Yale ndoru, abafula kabako magumagula kanuku, katonya nuku. But mune yatin o nyanta kela. Tonya mafako kana julota. Ba ni julota ake kuto membe fembondila. Ake kuto membe fembondila. Tonya silo important ade. But not rebe fen finance sort la in return.
Yeah.
Dangamira anyanta kela unyale. The Ibome sort la in return is now it is now that you use yela silo do kwala. Ita jultala. Bare ka julubalta eko ebesla do kwala dol bijeta wal kamo ele do kasilo mo ele do ba nyamaje. Wal ka fo ele ko hey jitentel la janto. Walkava hey ambulance watentel la janto. Walkava hey ndata loptano te mamboro sorno jeto. Walkava hey ndata le yeboro sa fenyen tata ngadani roke. Pour fonsi bodo song soto. Katu amma soto. Amanya moma ko road infrastructure mana fenyen, but should that be a priority? Invest in the productive sectors of the economy so that you can get good returns. No good returns no soto. Is naje isila silol do kunwada. Itera kodo nyin talabang iko kodo ita talabang na bakono are exploited for the benefit of the Gambian people. Members of la jeto aina benga Gambia do kwala kodo nyin me batala kake julo te ajulo nyin natara 100 million lama ite good farmers nyor jela bang mo tanyo yata le tema yeta do kwala ite alon ko fo bitati yole do kula bang for a man wale do kolama but they try in the agricultural industry ibe fensot lawto me yalo ka abinan na marsol hanata na local makelo sera kunda abe wafila jeto fembe sot la jeto ngota nyame nga chairman la maternity health center nga alo ala radan ko bita do ko bitala ko do de dontola pour koke nang makafuko ñine ñanta kala maskunal fa bari teliamira ka ko development mente in ka ko yada ka ko ka ñaade la suru akante lu libot gis ken ko wedi libot gis ken ko wedi ko ñaay me ñe so teliamira ka ko development but development is more than that khadama ding fa ñanto fa li préparer la
preparation yeah
development ni ak commencer wala to barnak natra kafako ite ye nya banko na nya tate aje ku koten neto men hadama ding la dada manke kilenti well wato we are going in the wrong direction fatu ye penka yoko minister ya for distress fanko
yeah
ku kada gambia ne manke gambia
wala monti
at least nene mama kada
wala monti
hani during the colonial period
wala monti
mo me yala ka ko man people representative soto hano period budget wa ke gambia ko no dibitol ma debate nene ma moy anene man ke nyim banko la history to adama baroka history kala nyi history kay nyo kay alhamdulillah nyi mote nyi history kala ko tenke
budget man debate
budget man debate
Wow.
Hello membe budget nyin kono. Diptol man diptol allow pour yeyitande. Adama Barola diptol wole motion no move e ko motion fonko akana debate. And the minister was an minister finance. No. I want this budget government president. I want it debated because I want to prove to the government people that I've given them the proper budget. So I want other people to say something about this budget. And then manke Gambia kabirin Gambia ya farlong. And then manke akeda Adama Barrow jamanu. But mana ko be ke mana ko be.
Yeah, man, so no budget or debate because obviously they are lawmakers. That is their job.
Obviously, na debate. Hello, mel budgeto.
Yeah.
Wolle be itandila. Mem manyana tarjeto wolle nyata itandila. Yeah. Allocations, improper allocations. Ntaful improper allocations, but misappropriation. You know, kaduko. If you give, 1 million. 1 billion plus. Yeah. The president's office
of the president
and agriculture 95 million.
Yeah.
Ni dipito lota bonko ne bafala senala kafoko alamansa kuna nyini ke. Imala wala.
Mi njahal masakunda ko ye travel ban ye wole ke tango ye ban lekje. But office of the president la travel budget I think $100 million. $100 million. That is more than the Minister of Tourism.
Alaten there's a travel ban. If there was no travel ban, it would probably have been $1 billion.
Wow.
It would probably have been $1 billion. Mkoli tane kafoko ila miraria momenti. One of misplaced priorities. What I mean for tourism. Tourism has a good funding so that the tourism infrastructure. I mean, you can make it more attractive.
Yeah.
The product can be more attractive. It cannot be the same thing all throughout. Kabri mama sankoto, sunshine, sea and sunshine, nice beaches. It cannot be all that throughout. Yeah? But for them, one monkey kuti, they'll be benefiting from personally.
Ministry of Tourism la budget only meet the people manjam fanyola. Meet the people they approved 45 million this year.
Well,
and Ministry of Tourism la budget is 54 million.
Well,
and when the minister spoke, ako niaje al adileta ka budget only present. And also ila project so doli make because subvention or minka
they are expecting.
Can we expect imanana? Ako subvention or manana. Inflation no hani sabe selling dumuro dabe selling. But President wala end of year address. Ako 2025 is going to be a good year. All indicators ya tandilako 2025 became a good year tile. With all of this Gambian dalasi is depreciating, continue to depreciate against all major currencies. Inflation ekaji tale bari domuro dabi selling. Our donor partners are not forthcoming in Yantanala Nyaming. The loan portfolio is still up. Do you think 2025 is going to be a good year for Gambian people? 2024 was stressful. It was
Congo President Barrow, I now think. Bao ngamera wa mala New Year statement letter.
Yeah,
I now think I have for Moli why 2025 is going to be a good year for the Gambia.
The economic indicators look
which are the economic indicators?
Inflation is going down.
My pocket doesn't see that the inflation is going down. My pocket, I don't feel it in my pocket. I don't feel it in my pocket, and in fact, all Gambians don't feel it in their pockets. Technocrats only see Jana drawing, figures bandy about. But actually, has it impacted you?
No.
I mean, kununko, ekadibili no. The high quality no kasa men kununko is less than B ikasa men. B at the price what at happening. So it can have a more nenela ko kumo fuel ka inflation tada down le. Inflation na bitala down more than taja for kono. Subola price han bi fatala tada ba. Farmer attack. Jabo farmer. In fact, once in a while, ba ni jabo si ada marsoto. Yawa. you have surplus, so I cut that down. But other than that, all other things, mano and all those things, amanji, abe selekane drone.
Bonko dingola kumbo muminti, tonya wolom, danyi no koleatale, danyi no amanji no hanisai, mano tulo jabo, the basic commodities. What will UDP government under your leadership be going to do to make life better for the ordinary Gambian? Because look, ndol nyindol be, woman can no problem woti. Jannin silo e betea, jannin kudole betea. Esi ekono e fa, dingole domoro ke e krinti. Ye 3 square meals. What will the UDP government do differently from what is happening right now?
Yeah, there was a time. Gambia government and Nigeria government. Kanyo makwer baka mo Nigeria government. E kam makwe crude oil to. Puru nga wafi, nga banko la hajol top data. Big rice producing countries nyolo. Like Vietnam. In all accord kenole similar to in crude oil deal ye makwe. I mean a certain tonnage of rice, ya nati, ya wafi. In fact, maybe all that you will be required to do is to pay the freight. Yeah, near freight nata, near freight charges you are not paying for it. That will force the price down. And you might identify that maybe GGC, but I was now at the responsible for food from corner. I take the conduit, or other people, other actors. Ya dealer, yes, ya wafi at a drastically reduced price. It will seal a profit and in tandem with that, because you cannot go on be dependent on marco and so feed. War the various varieties of mano mesorangeto. Any agreement sort of yena introduce of various varieties of rice in the country. And production and then you add value to the produce. And then we go to Yasambela market. These are, in fact, this is something the mayor Kavko experts on some trade from Kolo they are working on, and hopefully will come with a very lucid and full statement on it. But there has to be that cooperation. The sort of approach in Nigeria to help us with crude oil, help us in our budget fund quality. We can do the same thing. Yalo funko Japan come also.
Yes.
Japan come also funko manual.
Yeah.
Fatou, yeto so manu menna. Muna yatina ibo wafira $600 isla or more. Adu ya dilale ko alla molo ke makwe. Always can you fork up ya dina put nga wafi to fund some of our projects nyolo. Hanata wolom. Amanya na wafila dala dame yala mkafko is beyond the reach of the ordinary people. It's good quality rice and menkana abuita demanding and really as makwero keno kamano danyen kajindino as makwero keno and as makwero keno alale but not nana kavko menka ke watu no mano nanata e ka more than the tombo ya dila waleta ya wafi damendi ati
yeah. So let's come to the Constitution. Actually, do we come in and we talked about we didn't know when you were traveling, we talked about the Constitution. And just I think 3 days after that, government ya announced ko ya gasel ko fay kan tolle batinu bag. But yeah, we had a conversation and we talked about the constitution. Covering ngo kachake iko nyela ko hani doto niya bondi 2020 drafto, we will not vote for it. Is that your position today? Is that the UDP's position?
Fatou, until on a platform like this,
yeah,
no kuma kensan for jeto. No, killing na position as a very, very senior member of the bar. Where the man like manyan na nala nye platform si Fatou, or any platform, no kuma kensan for jeto.
Yeah.
Fuller. Ala tendialo wolu yeke wolu no fon ko te ka wanya ko ke bay ko yole duanye ko se sima ya
wato ya wolu ha to yalo
nga sang mem fanam balu
ha
ni mamaringlu ni dinglu manya na la ni platform oto si Fatou nga kuma fo jeto me an ka kuma ken sanglo mo ba constitution mo political document leti.
Yes.
Ya ça fait loi kan la. So in my capacity, as leader of the biggest political party in this country,
second biggest.
Go the biggest political party.
No, you are the second. NPP is the biggest.
NPP is not the biggest.
How are you the biggest? NPP like presidential win go.
MP and adenyolo. Adenyolo. NPP da mama kede. Ini denyolo. Ide nyojol ngamera tani silo
grand coalition
grand coalition okay. All right, so what are the biggest political party? Yeah, boy.
Can you guys comment who is the biggest political party? But NPP comment here, let me see. But better on the grand coalition of the NPP. It's on all of that.
But the most serious note. So, really, I cannot sit here as leader of a leader of a political party, not even say the biggest political party, leader of a political party, ngokuma si fafo. Yeah, man. Ngana murukani ya mbafu dalilo le membulo.
Muna le dalilo ti. Muna tina iko
yalo Fatou, you must accept this kafoko. These are policy considerations. The type of constitution I want, or at least I think, favors most Gambians.
Okay.
One policy mentality. So if I differ with you on a policy issue, I must maintain. No policy stand, I must maintain it.
But the thing is, the argument here is this. Yes, CRC le assign Numpure 2020 draft data, right? There was a CRC act that empowered them to do the constitution. But legally, government has the right to bring the constitution
I don't dispute.
Legally they have the right, right?
I don't dispute that. You have the right to bring it, and I also have the right to reject what you bring to me.
Okay.
I also have that right. And let me just, while talking about this constitution, you talk about the CRC. Yalan Demba Sabali went on West
Coffee time. Yeah.
I come off to Bali ko UDP ko vote against that constitution. No, that is what he said.
Oh, he said you voted against?
Ako UDP.
No,
ako UDP.
Okay.
Ako UDP voted against.
No, you guys did not. UDP didn't.
UDP
voted.
All of us voted for it. And I come off Kafuko. No, Melan Kafuko. Wolu, they were UDP candidates. Those people were already expelled from the United Democratic Party.
Yeah.
They were not part of us. Because those were the type of conduct they were going to adopt in National Assembly against the people of the Gambia. So they will not be part of us. Because they Tarankono vote against the Constitution, and then some of our people vote for the Constitution. That would put us in a dilemma. So maybe Honorable Damasawa, as Kerala Faxnol will check. I know he has enormous hostility for UDP. Yeah. But at least let him be, let him be a little bit, let him be checking his facts, so that he does not come to an important platform as the West Coast Funko and present inaccuracies.
Yeah. But what is your issues with this new draft? Is it the content or the process?
Look, not only the process, but also the content.
The content.
Look, Pato,
some of the, what are some
when
of the...
when we are talking about separation of powers.
Yes.
When we're talking about separation of powers, that, in fact, the issue of nominated membership of the National Assembly should be a thing of the past.
Yes.
It used to happen. In fact, it was a colonial, spillover. But during the colonial Funko, nominate people to represent business interests, to represent unions' interests, women's interests, and so forth. And that was carried over, so that the minorities, they really interest, not group, but interest groups, they may not be adequately represented in National Assembly. You think, people like Dr. Palmer, people like Ousainu Darboe, and I think even Mrs. Louise Darboe. Yes, they were nominated to really represent certain interests. Even in the first Parliament. I mean, there are people who are interested in interest groups like Honorable Fenka Saka, the lady, I mean, the disabled community.
So
yes, specific interest groups, they have to be represented. Now, today, in this modern age, when people are talking of doing away with nominated membership of National Assembly, you say, we will nominate people to the National Assembly. Not only nominate them, but also have the power to remove them. I mean, what an insult.
Even though the Supreme Court has ruled against that.
Because it's, that is a protest
against the Supreme Court.
Against the Supreme Court judgment. I mean, anybody in his sane mind, you think you should support such a document, such a constitution?
What is your...
It tells you that when you assume office, you have to declare your assets. But when you leave office, you don't declare anything. During the period that you are more likely, to get involved in some shady things, during those periods you are not going to assessment declare. Nga bi nga ken namuso tola. Nga bi nga ken ding tola. Fado. Al tel nga tonya fo ñoy wahi. Atel ko al lafta tiling le tambang Bangkok. Atel ko al lafta corruption le fen. Ite ko ni tombon roke moto wal koto jubele. Fo nyanta para so mar fam. Ba dunya ko ne bi wala beto ne be kere. Abota damenten Ghana. Mahama. Peru suna bala minister nyal be present to the parliament. Kafo kon lafta nyine ken finance minister ti. Lafta nyine ken defense minister ti. Mola tombondir modo. Ya jube fo ni ndum. Na nafulo ndum ka lafta karfala menna. Fanya ta karfala mal fama na karfala ba. Ito ko kote kala. Ada manke kukutate. For National Human Rights Commission members foi porque foi mais sama député bon ka jube. Ombudsman, Army Council. So what in fact just said the reparation
National Assembly is so politicized. Sometimes somebody is going to be a delay in governance process.
It's so politicized, but it's not so politicized, to look at the members of the National Human Rights Commission.
But y'all political,
it's not
ministers
so but look, you want to have Fado, need to nominate as a minister. I don't tell National Assembly member. You nominate as a minister, and I know something about you. Manya interrogate. Go. After all, left men. More melan kavoko mansobila.
Yeah, especially for me, my concern is more about the institution, strong into having the office of the IGP. I keep saying this in every show. The IGP should be vetted because IGP Lombang, IEC chairman, nyunu dolu, nyunu fenle timi anko mu eka mulal eka IEC chairman aka referee leti interest groups whole tema. Naketa moti mi along a thorough vetting so a independent ala tenure is guaranteed at a sila you know the tendency ko abe mira la do ko o abe sila la fenna wote taraji IGP mola life le katarabolo be police le ka mol arrest be loi ko tamandi la mol kan ning IGP alon ne ko ya vetle andung ala tenure is guaranteed and confirmed at a sila lako nimma nyinke be mbailale ñun mu fenniti mi alon ko aka institutional strong dele so for me I'm very concerned about that honestly
absolutely the IG the Inspector General of Police you know ngamira anyanta kala moleti me alon ka ko abe sino la ata tarla sobirin ka ko karben noma ni once year appoint at that two vetting process appointer wallahi kula man nyanna la wulla même ba ken la e ba la koy bel symbole use la pour ka bonde because the moment wa institution si falu imang la ka ko la palaso be le man yarine itela do ko ken wala nyama kani ko be kula para ko ke malo senda be men falama nyanta nyen kala nyin silota de bari minority leader nyin abita no ko fenkala député bun ko no abita nyin nyen fenkala nyin o na minister o na minister ita fenkala asita faka abe ko kala na but once I guarantee to kafoko ila do ko ibake ka nyama ibake ka nyama de kadu ko ta fana kafoko Inspector General of Police ni ata yake Inspector General of Police din men diate abole kala men ni loi mantanyola hani guardrails nyon nyanta tarla jetole me yalon kafoko na ku kata me yalon kafoko amanke slati nyanta men kala just like you say for the Auditor General just like you have the Director of Public Prosecutions. Yes. No, one nyanta o guardrails nyon nyanta talaje ni yake me yalum kam ni silo manta appropriate measures betala le ke jindi ke fonyondi. Barnak kasapi sapila la kan no like the former regime how many Inspector General of Police was that ikakasabile you don't know how many because there were no guardrails.
Yeah. But what is your take on the, in the 2020 draft when it comes to arrest and detention? Yeah, 48 hours le. But in the 2024 draft, extend le. And also permit, Public Order Act. I think in this day and age, that should be something me alongo. That is one of the reasons why this catalyst of this change is Solo Sunday. And it has to do with the Public Order Act. Natara be for being be kono, the Public Order Act hani saying abena loi bukol kono. This is something me halonko.
Well, telling kata Honorable Suleiman Saho. Ata to private members bill. On the Public Order Act, but LPP call ya reject. Because you see they become long. Walon kavo ko bi. Isa mera kavo ko ni loi. Aye fasad sama aina ke post note isnane kali kaf ko ngalo nu nte so nanye loi but Public Order Act ya repeal ya guardrails no leke kaf ko ite wul la drum kaf ko bitala rally la o bitala demonstration la inyanta notice la police la le kaf ko ni lung laftale kata peaceful demonstration la yela rouse ñol fenke and then they provide security mo ma fo ka fo ko alu ay burka don san fere ni wulta do ale bubula do amen data le take hani wota keno la banko kan kadu ko banko la tenkun imari manyanno o compromise la so eta kala ka fo ko I mean free for all whatever you want to do you can do it give notice so nang inspector general pol na ja ka fo ko I love in demonstration kala I love tamila mama ko to silola katata ajiba ka ko wel fanke sanchaba plato ni activity be ke kan jeto alcanta class jeto yama wato advice ka ko hani yela demonstration yabula yama for another day yama so that it's still activities not can so that you know the issue of conflict to arise at all but we have and main fanke honorable attorney general Batembado nana bilo natle in National Assembly barana anata ya withdraw because il lafta ku kana la kala bar kabira watata wa ko be fata wanyale really but tembo meant to be quand for na right nin combo exercise la manya na permission no tale bulu ma fa fana ngana right exercise pour itala right ngotora
so nin constitution watata anata when you talk to people from the government side the 2020 draft took all the powers of the presidency. I president
Why do you want to have an all-powerful president?
Because the president is.
Why do you want to have an all-powerful
president? Because the president of the republic.
You should have a president, Mayor Long Kafoko. He is guarded by the constitution. Now, why should you have a very powerful? No. Wabet talaka ne dunia kono. Wabet talaka dunia kono. Presidents nyala powers nyodo. Ya we cop kan.
Atu lafta kila masakunda atile. Ni keta masakunda if this constitution passes.
Which one?
If
which constitution?
The 2024. Fate pass. Fate pass.
Well, as personal. As personal, bangal as personal. As personal, bangal ne ko UDP kolu wala vote tar la jël adu na pass fana until the campaign against it for the referendum.
Mr. Darboe, this is the thing. Okay.
We'll campaign Fatou.
You will campaign against it
for the referendum. Look, I have never concealed our position on this. You see, Fatou, you see all the efforts that have been made in 2024 constitution, draft Barola constitution. More be katakol new katakol ke 2021 that tenun by number republic. New katakol tenun B better republic.
But for
and specifically all these civil society organizations efforts new mel kekan. New kenu. For the 2020 draft, by now we would have been the third republic.
More money in 2020.
Well, ni more money. Hani be money man.
More money in 2020. Even though until we do some programs with IIR, but more money in 2020.
Hani more money. Mani kolko. Ni tumbu ifota na. Ekana ni misade. Tungba notole. So berota ko de yabo. 2020 mel be kanyel fonko advocate na. Inyanta memfala to the powers that be. CRS la drafting ala not to the National Assembly and let us negotiate on that. Wala nyanta kela stand.
But say, Mr. Darboe, yalo nako ninyin draft fighter banta nali vote against it. Nga NPP more accused no nyaming 2020. Mal accused law. We will say it is the UDP that voted against this draft.
And Fatou na foye ko na position is a defend no they couldn't defend their position but we can defend our position.
What is what will be your point of
there's no need to talk about that now.
Okay.
Natra tata for we vote against it nimmen ko be UDP blame lala well you regard that why would you blame UDP mune na 2020 draft ni alma advocacy ke order mune ya alma advocacy ke kafuko the 2020 draft ni or CRC draft, bring that to the National Assembly. Any negotiations, IAK on the 2020 draft. It has a two-term limit.
Two-term budget. And no, I know oppositional two-term budget. 50 plus budget.
For 50 plus farm 2020 draft.
Abijel.
Abijel. For two-term limit mantra.
Abijel.
So what is the argument of two-term limit level? What is the argument? It's not an argument. Among Kumati Menglota. About the 2020 draft, not a mantra jet. Absolutely. You have something. But about 2020 draft.
But still, I'm fault.
From the 2020 draft, all the good things are in the 2020 draft. All the bad things are in Barrow's draft. I'll continue as well. More education tell you. Equation tell you.
Falte sonna aleta committee stage
manta committees
manta because you not all after nyim fe on fallen na
2020 draft
na after fallen on minna ate amendment or kela
fadu more to know benna the 2020 draft 2020 draft or CRC draft or they call it 2020 draft or 2024 draft or nati to the National Assembly at a committee stage and we work on it there for the kenod. Muna na utekela ANM CRC Honorable Justice Cherno Jallo under his chairmanship draft men fenke ya nati mel bebe ni advocacy la. I think that should be but nyante kela position ote ka foko draft ni alona to the National Assembly let it go to committee stage ebe tamo men base pen ka be resources men base pen ka on the Barrow draft ni atra yoke advocating for the general draft. I'll call that general draft. New advocates for that to be brought in and Abinala, then by now would have in the Third Republic. We would have in the Third Republic. But because your motives Lesotho, your daily Lesotho, my government coming for Kafko, yes, you're more better president.
More better president.
But no, I think I'm more Hakulosoto. It became Mira. Father Adamoro Calapurenda for Faubang. President Kotel Melbinala. You know, they are content. You know, with that. They, I'm content. You know, with the your papa, yes, Nimpa Bijedo, amending under the 2020. I'm content with that. I am so. Other politicians, party leaders, Melbenim Bangkoka, Melan Kavoko, they are content with that. But because they wouldn't want to have a president that is too powerful and can do anything. No, they wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want to be that president because of it's a left philosophy movement. They believe, of course, governments, presidents must be controlled.
What is your opinion on this? The succession in the 2024 draft. I come to Benin Darboe kata president. Na tata batata fenda ke vice president. Na pareta ko resign fenda ke president. I come to ko ni a jube inte ka explain wala nyama bi ning president Barrow kata na lafta bi ase fatu ngemane kan ekana fenda to fanyento kana
no ka explain le dro ko mola
understand han ko kana fenda to fanyento ngam falli ke ko ndebe kala president impota je ndimay ka dan ndem man la ndimay ke president ngolo iko ngolo moy wala no mala fenda to fanyento but
the 2024 draft, that is the best explanation. Mimu, momo keta president. For example, President Barrow B. Na lafte daha, na lafte Fatou Barrow ke president. Asa appoint no as vice president. Na keta vice president, na te daha. I continue. That is the explanation that I can give. Okay. And that is possible. Walong, even though we did not give that person the mandate, that person can be president. Is that anything that you think is, you guys will align with, UDP?
Well, I think that if you look at the draft, the 2020 draft, a vacancy occurred in the office of the president.
Yeah.
Unless it is 1 year before general elections.
General election.
That would have to be by elections.
By elections, yeah.
But if it is just 1 year before the general elections, no by-election, because really you want to have a by-election let's say 3 or 4 months after a vacancy occurs in the office of the president, and then 6 or 7 months later, you have also an election, a general election field. It doesn't make sense. But if it is, if it is more than that period, of course you have to go to by-election. That is what we have in the 2020 or in the Cherno Jallo.
In the 2020 draft.
In the Cherno Jallo draft. And I think that accords well, with common sense.
Okay.
So that the electorate will have a choice of who, should be the president for the remainder of the tenure. Yes. But maybe even this other issue of the 1 year period of membership, maybe if you have a presidential running mate system, so that you'll have an endorsement of the vice president. The only issue that would arise is if the vice president's office becomes vacant, and what happens? Would the president have the prerogative to appoint a vice president, or how would you deal with such a situation? I think maybe these are some issues that the big politicians, the big experimentalists in constitutional matters, maybe some of these are some of things they should think about.
Okay. So we have other because if I ningete moy right wolonko ning second reading natolma vote against it, obviously that means a failure, because it's 2/3 majority, and you will need at least some members of the UDP to top it up, right?
All members of the UDP.
All UDP members. So meaning there will not be no debate and nothing. And, I listened to Doyle's press conference yesterday, and what Halifa said is interesting. Lawmakers, their goal is to make law, and they should have a debate. Your National Assembly members will now have to engage in a debate and vote to determine whether the bill should pass the second reading or not. And we are passing a very fundamental question on each government. And if like he says, the executive has not violated any right? If the National Assembly is not doing their obligation, doing the debate, then that National Assembly should be dissolved. That's what he said.
Well, that is his view.
Because they are
That is his view. It is not that National Assembly members have to approve every measure that brought to National Assembly.
But at least they should debate on it.
And no one says that. We said that we are not going to vote for it.
Okay.
We are not going to vote for it. Those are his views. And certainly, members of National Assembly are entitled to vote for and also to vote against any measure that is brought before the National Assembly. And as I say, this is a matter of policy. For us, it's a matter of policy of great significance. What type of constitution you want to go commit to the committee? It's a policy decision on our side, and this is our party's position. They belong to a party. Their party's policies. That's what is ventilating, which we do not agree with.
Now, the option here is 1997, and you go borrow draft. Yeah,
borrow draft. Yes.
Madiko borrow papers.
No. I think I want to respect it. It should not be papers.
Madiko borrow draft. Borrow papers. It go borrow draft. So now what we have is the 1997 and the 2024 draft. At least there are some progressive laws in the 2024 draft which are not in the 1997. If you guys vote against the 2024 draft, we will continue to be governed by the 1997 constitution,
but that is the choice,
which you guys have advocated
choice,
against for the past 20 years.
That is the choice that Barrow has given to the people. That is the choice.
That has openly advocated, and you have told us how the Jame has butchered the 1990 countless times. And you advocated. But now if you vote against it, you're left with that.
I appreciate very much for Kafoko. UDP has always been wanting the 1997 constitution to be replaced.
Yeah.
Fatou Gatoya Fonye Mel Batata ka ko la ka constitution ko la nyim banko e mel batata ye mel strongly mel buute ye mel fala o mo UDP ko leti wala yatinna the journal draft from why the process was on participate in it fully ngana input kijeto na miraya ndi nga kijeto ngaje kafoko nyine mugambian ko la nafati sayin ni Adama Barrow na la mol yajo kafoko ni manke itella nafati itella nafa momenti bole fenkala intel ko is not any constitution. It has to be a constitution that is fit for the people of the Gambia. And Barrow draft is not fit for the people of the Gambia. That's our position. Policy consideration. And our policy, we are standing by our policy. These are principles that we are standing by. Mel bebe nyim fokang. Kafoko, nganyinke. Why are they not advocating for the Cherno draft to be brought to the National Assembly so that the Kanye State committee will go through those motions. Ibe debate mel beke kan, ibe resource mel be utilize kan in order to make sure Kafoko nyim Barrow draft ni sees the light of the day New York kenung. Konga fo nyame bi ibe avla Kafoko better republic leto. But in common for until man fenka man sila moy jalay kadun bes be lorin lonkan ngalo ne ko al bambantale asata le fana so nimmel laftan jalay la bari alon tel delta jaylo UDP the majority of the political class janto e ka UDP jalay le drom so nintel jalay wo mantel wo mankentel nyako to fenti ba ngalo ne ko nga stand menta it's a principle stand and was stand lo me yalon kafoko mobe ita function da kafoko menyanta kala manke ha so menyanta kala manke sai kafoko wodo menyanta kala manke baral ngata
nte kabrana ko back to sender al ngamurundu back to sender kabrana ngolo fono bari kabri ngajibe nko nyindo at least nyindo fisia bam sadaw al otela mol
ko for over 20 something years ni wo jame constitution no le ba kan fo no le matra
so ni we continue
ala be Gambian ko la lungnat la Fatou ala be Gambian ko la lungnat la
basila yalon alla mol min ka tatam foto yeda ha tatam kuma fola de ka fo min ka fo baro ko no tatam
no well but Fatou
yalon na nango
Fatou look no that honey
because you're 1997 for honey 100 time na la tasero
ila moyni ne hanatra kavoko yin constitution ya pass ya we barobe haburi nyamen abe haburi nyamen palaso ka fight at
habitale
so whether it's passed or not
ni another 2000
whether it's passed or not so you cannot tell me kavoko you have term limit in this well barobala term at what abala
at least another 2000
member balla term la Gambian ko la dumba balla ata sotla
je muna neo
mol fata nyinnale ifane afro barometer la fonko juwe ba mol fata nyinnale konko be mol be halakirin itel beti ñarola e ko ka kamuneke yalon Peter Gomez lañu commence ñol mel ken on covid ko you gave 4 million to these people alientel je ye so bakel wala yadna yen Christmas fonkote ako alnal ngana simo
ay bal simo la de do montano musa tale bari wabe to try to make up ye ku ke me ka manya ne ko let me make up this way but that was even wrong ntenga mellong professional bodies ñu wala kala dinas ñu ni la dinas ñu organize they invite the president.
The head of state invite
yes. Like the GPU, organize the president invite.
Or the ministry, or the ministry may have responsible for them. You know, like the bar association, either be a president invite or the attorney general. And the chief justice. So, but
After Narateria is about saying, so we want to start on a fresh note.
2025.
2025. One of the interview letter first. Now I would dinner then say.
Abadi lela. Banda interview di la badi lela.
Mr. President, interview dinner do.
Na badi lela.
I really want.
Kada bela filan jabi lela. Badi lela.
And I be jabi la jana lesilo kaka ke jabi. But Mr. Darboe, talking about elections, the UDP for the past covering 2021 for B, NPP accused of Sunyarola, Alco Ima election of win. Alma results will accept up to Bebeaming Kono. Recently, we had one member of the NPP, he's not an executive though, member, and he has not shown us any proof to believe ko Amin Fotonyalo. He made serious allegations about election malpractices. Ko itol them in October about folale muneke for an election of win itol mo dantanga e mol min for. Kabrale o mo mo jama ko UDP ni for but member fa na man fentande just like atolla Allah allegation or mam prove no in a court of law member for name for we cannot prove it I have followed wrong. But Cabrale Amoy, what was your reaction first, Cabrale Amoy?
Well, the reaction was but ngalamay abe men fola. Wala mo reaction. Ngalam abe fola. Yalan tel be mo fola. Del ngosa fela be court ko. Ni tata court ibata la jeto le. Gaf ko nyele ni defa. Barate menketa ako October na ba fola. So October na yafo nsilamwe la jani watema man fenfene soto men fola about those allegations ntel ngam nyanta men fola ngofale e ko entitala nga tonya yandi but alhamdulillah with hindsight yala natata no for ya host ya dismiss sabako yes judicial approval I asked totally. Court koleko atata silola le. Yalo won so so take no that. But we no am for di amo manke. Yeah we. Itafo na la ka ko tonya ye memfo tonya ye memfo tonya lo. It does not have that certification by the judiciary.
Judiciary. Mo le min follow Mr. Darboe yala tol fanan jaliba ko Gambia la lawyer ba. I want for the Kabirin tolbe tendi, Kabirin be teng. Jaliba ko Gambia lawyer ba Ousainu ya Jula Darboe. I want for mama ni mang Ousainu Darboe time lawyer ta. Wala ta wodore.
Wala dental julo le.
Ni mang Ousainu Darboe time lawyer ta. Lawyer Darboe, lawyer Bori Toure, lawyer Rinjuma ko ya kumba jeyte, almame tal bije, lawyer Bele bije Allah ka fo kono. But, most of the cases, most of the landmark cases, Alka mean samba court to Alka Luciala. And most of these ones, especially these ones, me alonko, technicalities. Alla election case, technicalities. Now, this latest one, me alonko, alia samba Supreme Court advisors, court yo fanang bay. And don't a bay time cool minga Mr. Darboe. Very easy stuff. For example, Nico Fatou Toure, a member of the APRC executive leti. But in a court of law, imam proof natiko, kaito fele Fatou Toure to be executive list or corner. Or Fatou Toure is appointed as ambassador. You didn't bring my ambassador appointment letter. Court yalla case will file wala.
Okay. Ngela kumojele.
Yeah.
Let me say first.
Molko sila is either UDP is not doesn't have the good lawyers or the judiciary has.
Just hold. Tap fem for the judiciary. Makadu ka nge respect le.
Yeah.
Man agree in additional la.
Yeah.
But nge respect.
Yeah.
Ikamen for iko man kite evidence bondi.
Yeah.
Kaitandi kavoko nyimbenye executive leto. Come bondi. Man any evidence bondi or kaita bondi. Kaitandi kavoko dembo mu national president of NPP leti.
Yeah.
Man kaita bondi.
No bondi.
All of them. Kaf Henry Gomez, Mutalam leader of GPDPT, man kaita bondi. bari court sonda ka foko ye positional hole kaf Henry Gomez lom leader of their party and you'll bear your various positions on men for your whole political office you know ila it's not all that
I know
irlata munaka na video Melbondi and it was the same video na Melbondi Fatmata Jahumpa Rambo not Secretary Hydra not Secretary Hydra Rambo and
Lamin Boja
no Lamin Boja fana no ni ajen na ma bondi wolto wolko to moment ye palaso dinna kabila palaso dinna nyamen do na politique palaso membambulu ngo sayindile so natara ka foko politique palace table no ebe mun sayindila how do you call it? Following my appointment. I resigned. Resigned from what? Yeah, long coming for Jojo lu lafta ke respect back bari nying ngamera inyal saunta kulo dol lale. Kabri be nyakatol jube ka. Fatmata Jahumpa. Fankele present. Bakso. Kafuko My Excellency, ila Congress no. And in fact, the advisors Funko, Chief Justice may lead judgment safeja ako nyulu moli yela call either ifangli fangla call for or moli yela call for kafuko palace wal memuta. Fatma Jahumpa sister palace. Obviously Bakso ya fankele. Rambo interview. In fact, on this medium, Kerr Fatou, I have my account.
Interview.
I have my account. I have to introduce Nyame. Yeah, in Yabo Bela Kafoko, ima evidence na the Kafoko, you be executive letter. Fatou carry a final wine, I don't know Kumakotem for. I don't know Kumakotem for. So did Bojaning Fanko. Cabria Palazzo did not more men. Resign Tana Palazzo, Napoli Palazzo, Mapoli resign Tale. But Jojo Imunefo, I call roles, call leaders roles. Then a melon role, you cease to perform roles. Positions, you resign from positions. And of course, Memphana Natna Jakara ko, very may na Kavoko, APRC Marlock in Bangkok. Amen, really, Fatou. You don't have to be a lawyer. So ni mol Kavoko ha ni lawyer balu, you know. Come on, judgment really. No, I'm sure. Ka judgment that at the moment. Nga lawyer didn't jamala comment je. But na tete o comment si fa kala katu killing na eja diba. Fula na position in the community. Kuma to niya for aka malaf in the first place malaf momole jutu. Na Gambia Jojo Fenna. So because of that, nak modo. Yalo, fat nana mamo eko. Badim boy. Kitio. Constitutional. Badim boy nana mamo. Ko non-suit. So, na dia ko nang ko isi salo isa man roke ko tanke. But why would I do that? Because New York, Bamira Kavoko, which hunting, Ebulaka Molde no. Then that has never been until a position. Until go Gambia Marlonia to Sala Gambia Nyame. Olon tell a position. Mantra more bind the kang. Ni more bind dolo. Then you know, Afoko suit file again. But no. Tokela. Kaduko niko ko evidence man soto. Kaduko no suit wano nyindoma evidence di onye evidence me da nyindo me brande momo entitled to judgment. But nko na IEC Samba case court moment on Bishop Jalwa Jansen iko evidence man soto. So because of evidence man soto, but the removal of Bishop Terewa Johnson, it a declared unconstitutional. You know, for the told fala. Kafko ema evidence na tinye kafko. You go ntenye declare no la kafko ela appointment you ta declare no la kafko is unconstitutional. Is to qualify. But kafko no. Yeah, so non suit. So that's it. Nimela yeta kito la koteki.
Mune asabu. I mean, I debate nati a lot. Mola mira lo karola ko. Look, it's either kuflalom. It's either UDP is not doing things right way.
We did our.
Or
look, Fatou, but feng yal. I mean, how many months later?
Because
how many months later? Janibe judgment kala. You know, Fatou wala bi. You know, ikafa nyadile. You know, kebab kurto bondi Tony Kensela. I don't go to court. Ninkuti je. Never, I will never do that.
You guys getting this kind of judgments?
Look, in the first place, it comes a notorious fact. Ni Jojo ko APRC, Kafko APRC, Manyambanko Mara, 1996 to 2016. If I ni Jojo for. I mean, people just said, what? What is this? What is he saying? It's a practice under that regime. Janto. You more defend.
Because
you more defend. Yeah, boy. You more defend Janto. Yeah, boy. Hanatra kafoko ibe banta. Ikamwa ile election okete la banko kang. Eko ya jamele ganyeta APRC. Yeah, it doesn't nafanya kafoko APRC kafoko APRC patrioti uhani evidence about that. Those notorious facts. Hani Fatou, moyo kuma kotemfo. So in the suit, in the ruling,
when it came to the ambassadors, eko evident manso the alma evident tandiko but when it comes to the advisors,
that's the contradiction.
When it comes to the advisors,
that is the contradiction.
when covering ambassador la ruling nata, okay, but covering advisors all nata, force na report member information I force for no dina kwenye ko nyindo ko they can confirm ko you know.
Absolutely.
But you know,
and what was the
it
evidence?
came out all the same evidence mindi jangale
absolutely. So that's a contradiction.
Like,
that's self-contradiction. That's self-contradiction. That's self-contradiction. But even more importantly, Fatou, ko yinyasa unta kulol lala. Bojanko, yama, bari kabri yang appoint, kanke attacheti, military attacheti. Na pala so me yalo ka bembol nungo saile. So am lut moment na, ibe kala military attacheti, ibe politic pala solto. Sekti jan fanako ka resign tali as leader. So mo ibe resign lemit adu ngof from Fatmata Jahumpa Sisi fanan resonance Mr. Amulunyas, spokesperson for APRC. All in from in the standard newspaper.
Yeah.
We standard it, and in fact, mba argue kan, mba argue kan, for kombe alternative argument kela on that. Chief Justice from Konya Kobare for the members of the standard newspaper to four manka kusot rindiba. Of course, kaya kusot what about ngana kumoda jedo. What are you resigning from? From a position in a political party. But na join your role. I mean, leader is not a role. Leader is a position. People cease to perform roles, but you don't resign from roles. So, Melbeka and Kumanfa, near Fonkonye, you document, you read properly, you join me, you read properly, then ibe conclude kafokani menko UDP intel nyanta menkala ngokele maybe ital manyana menkala maybe molke the observe the advisors not that fine that maybe serve kafko is the issue of public servant and public office, you know, and that is an issue of interpretation.
Do you feel that the court is deliberately luring against your party?
No, I wouldn't say deliberately ruling against our party, but I say that I do not agree with that because in public office and public, the whole underlying philosophy of it is that people in the service of the government, whether appointed by the president or otherwise, political neutrality is what is expected. Come on. Say Kumbalo, paying him from the
consolidated fund.
From the consolidated fund. Yeah, Abe Mune Keka. Propaganda for NPP. Is that the underlying philosophy of our constitution? No, it cannot be. Is that the spirit of our constitution that you can employ people? Now any rogue president can stuff the civil service with appointees under Section 80 of the Constitution. Any rogue president can do it. Ela political function yeta stuff yeta and be jo la mansa kunda kodola e be party do kolele. That is not the spirit of our Constitution. Whether you are public servant or civil servant, a public officer, the all function, because public officers, every civil servant is a public officer, yes. But then it's the neutrality of the public service. Must be politically neutral. You cannot stop that. So nimmel kafka well maybe na call farm nyal mange cleanly and really maybe time will come ka judges nal ka judgment nal kele and then time kana kafko na nyindi sononyi nga kele no bare rontale they reverse it akakele these particular civil officers officers in review application okay but ning kombo fanka amulan kafko mo bayndo anu ntel be men keka Gambia la na fada manke UDP la na fada what does UDP stand to gain from it except kafko and you go to the history books in the law report ibata la jetole Kafko UDP and stand letter to vindicate and enforce the Constitution. That is the only pride we have in it, and nothing else. It's nothing personal. If it was something personal, we would have gone for a review and would have shown out all these flaws. Would have shown out all these flaws. Bara manjarala.
Yeah.
So Nimmel left, yeta and President Adama Barrow. Natara, and this seriously speaking. An honorable attorney general natara alkata molleti mele anka foko bankola constitution ni aliya bunyale adu aliya long kat ka foko all these ambassadors nyolo they all be a position in their political parties at time of their appointment and nyanta step talale to relieve them from their appointment so that you are in community with the Constitution. Barnal Moke. Wala nyele ka ko duwalinga ko ne don katinya nimmel lafta ko de ina esa man roke. Who I don't know Malon who has the guts. And I'm saying this. I don't know who has the guts. Kafka Vitala court to ambassadors Kela appointment challenge. I hope somebody has the guts as UDP has. Until we don't just make political statements. Ningaje ngafo imam kufangede nke samba kotle na better jet na ma better jet I challenge all those people for member keka is not right. If you feel it's not right, take the matter to court.
So Mole Milo, I remember when we were doing your documentary, when you go to the law books, is in our jurisprudence, when one person told us there are so much reference to what UDP and you have done to challenge the laws, because in 22 years, most of the time, because Nalman Kuno politically, because of the way things were, you were always trying to challenge it in the courts.
And we have succeeded in building the jurisprudence.
The jurisprudence
of this country.
Yeah.
And which is a great pride. Which is a great pride to me and my people.
Are you getting frustrated with this kind of rulings? Will you get frustrated, or FAR will continue to always challenge things?
No, I don't get frustrated. Because I find this as challenges. And the challenges bukante murundi cover. The tougher the challenge, the more pushful I become. Like na commentator dome, the governor's cases, also misunderstand a misconception. You see, I will not tell you here, Menkata, because Menkata nga for chambers le, and I was happy kaketa chambers. Kaduka malla fingalo in the public kakumo dole for about judicial officers, but What I menke, I also wrote to the Chief Justice protesting. I wrote to the Chief Justice protesting. Katu case ning ya adjourn lenu to October 14th, 2023. Few days after, Minister of Justice Modo, they wrote to the judge. The case ni left ya not forward.
Wow.
So the case ni ya not, however case ni ya not for the I'm sorry. Ka continue not. Ka case ni adjourned to October. In the first place.
Yeah.
Case ni adjourned, not ranyanta nala fanang.
It should
be through judicial process. A file a motion. You have to call left na case ning. You not you bring forward. Both parties have, but your application or your grant.
Without the other party.
Even without even hearing the other party. You know? Wale ya kende ngakumo for Jojo in chambers. It's a high level in chambers damane. Dalilo kan ne in open court and nata kala ka at lala ko banda mesla lala bare malafi molia aje in a light me ala kafako aska jutuna. I case ning, I strike out. What the case Mayaloko was before her. Mata Mayaloko was before her. It's a motion.
Yeah.
Not the entire suit. We have appealed against those things. Again, maybe we don't mistake quality George Ola Carola. But it's wrong. So when men wrong tajeto, mba trial atilindi, Court of Appeal. Because all I know is that the order of the day is motions, motions, and so forth. The suit was not before her. It was the motion.
It was the motion.
So she couldn't have struck out the motion. She could not have struck out the suit. Because that was not before her.
That was not before.
And motion, all the arguments were filed. So at best, Ninto continue sa okay ba ko itina tela kunta yala bante ben na ruling kala on the basis of arguments yon milke. And then Isa decide no against me on the basis of Bruce Nyon Mel but no ngamira ka fanya wo case mo patati kandirang leti. So ngako bar nyi ay bombul bar aya jolo nya wala manyinya.
Yeah.
So I just want some commentators, Mel Camera Kafuko, UDP, I said I wasn't going to court. I told her that I'm not going to. I'm not coming. You have granted this application without consulting me. Member Tamake ni Masakunda Temanyeto. I don't know. So I'm not coming.
Okay. So finally, let's look at. You always told me, if you want to look at how a UDP government is going to be, look at Landizane, look at Danjo, look at Talib, look at Rahim Ali. You have always said this. And now look at Yankuba Darboe, right? We have seen the Commission of Inquiry. Have you been following the Commission?
Well, I listened to some of their things, but I have not heard anything about Talib except that passport.
Yeah, the passport. So far, that's the biggest scandal. We don't know what is coming.
Apart from that passport, I've not had anything.
Yeah, the passport to Dakar.
Yeah, the passport. Picking up the passport to Dakar, and of course, Brikam Area Council, they purposefully ignored that because ilamole bijeto no.
Yeah, silver.
Ilamole bijeto no, and I've not heard Kavoko Danjo Ineke. I've not heard that. Kafo Danjo as a paza Ineke. Asika Barasi sounded lono. So really, it's a hand picked for or you more melancho your support. Well, Latinyaro. Why should you make me responsible?
So the thing is, yes, personally, Danjo, Danjo, but under his watch, Yatandiko, there was some mismanagement. Let me finish. There was some mismanagement in the council. Nina KMC yetonyala for the biggest scandal for all of the passport, but there were some processes. Yatandiko KMC and there were like processes all.
No,
was
in
KM.
Yeah, KM. Look, Mayor Talib Low is not an executive mayor.
Bensouda.
Yes, Mayor Bensouda. In fact, Mayor Bensouda, Mayor Low. In fact, all these they are not executives.
But they're the political head.
But they are not the executives. If they were executives, then they would have been responsible for giving executive directions. Look, Fatou, Munayatina, Fonko, if something happens in Ports Authority, you don't hold the minister accountable. The minister is the political head. You don't. You can't even form for 4 million from a for Ports Authority. Whoever had Kavoko, minister has something to do with it. You don't hold the minister responsible for it. You know, all these reports you'll be departments you'll be not the minister. Unless, of course, you know, if you can show something, the minister is personally responsible for this. So all this, ya wuli menkama, almanana wuleke.
Olamunti.
Ya will kavoko, they'll find big faults, particularly with Talib. Munenad nanake, ya kavoko, some other persons. People in charge of the management. Ila financial directors nyolomba. Ila CEOs nyolo. Yeah. Fatou. Chairman your law. You have a look. Here is evidence of this. You know, a family, Mona Dinglu. Hundreds, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands and thousands. You're thinking. Iko chairman Kabe action tala against Ite, instead of helping and supporting him. Iko bare. Ikara kela motol impound. Ikara council ke arrest. No, I mean, you know, you really wo manke manso kunda tamando nyate. I think the Minister for Local Government would have come out in very strong language. Chairman, ibe kan support le. Because ni be kan eventual fanlet to tinya kan. Ba on telanga commission loan di menyante tel employee la. Malon kafko ni mo si follow meeting. In fact, I convene a local government, all the meeting of all the local government authorities. Now, let us start chart a new path. Local government administration, central government administration, nyanta harmonize la nyame. Your corporate, bangola na fakam. Your appointments nyolo, na lafta aliye common pool soto. Barat fang kala mol appoint. At kalan telte. Mbal supervise la nagde. Ndal to al fambul kaf ko mende ata le yoke. Mbal supervise supervision me yalon kaf ko adakala kaf ko me prefer kunjaro me yalon kaf ko ala junior nya kaf kala kasamba detention. It will not be like that. Ba fan kala pour mbela nafaka. After all, success of any local government authority in the Gambia is a success for central government.
That's why we need decentralization, proper decentralization.
But then there's no decentralization. In fact, what is happening is really power nying. After cast centralized in one place. Not what's the use of having the so-called is it executive directors for KM and Banjul? It's because ila political leverage.
Ila
political leverage.
Iko because ilafta doko min kenola.
What is
councils more opposition leti, and then they take credit for everything. So they want to.
It is the attitude of the government to the councils. You must treat them as partners. If you don't treat them as partners, what do you expect? What credit? If Leaf Landing does something, shouldn't he take credit for it? But then, take credit for that, and then if I were the Kafka, yes, then he's able to do so because me, as the president, telling a power devolve.
Nga president ujel kabaranta KMC mbenga jela min foja.
Telling a power devolve kadila.
Akwaya fo KM ko lele ko pour kana opposition council lete do ko kele anno afele KMC be no ring KMC man senea.
I do not expect that. No, quite frankly.
Because
quite frankly.
In imanso ini ako partner. So iko ini mantra do ko okay. So for other fanam kala more advice for them to work with government because we call certain label because my president ko imanso ini do ko okay. So afele wana KMC dungo le sofaka.
Fatou. The truth is that I know KMC, in fact all the council, they invite these people to their function. They refuse to come. No, in fact, let's take the ballet trucks for example.
Yeah.
Cameron at the moment. I would have expected the Minister for Local Government to jump on this and make political capital out of it.
But Talib refused. Talib said they wanted him to go present and inaugurate Amanso.
No. Talib invited them.
No, but inauguration is after.
Yeah, Talib invited. Talib invited them. Talib invited the president. But the president come and UDP ko ni na.
No, but after.
Ako ni UDP na UDP ko ba urena. But who Juma de Bokela? Chafato Juma de Bokela. Head of state. Chafato Juma de Bokela.
Because he correct capital finitely when it should be for the president.
But Fatou atlim fana nyanta bunya la limbanko kan ngatonya Fatou ngabunya ya Ahmad Baya fana Ahmad Ba ko ala bunya
Ahmad Ba ko bunya
fana nyanta bunya la limbanko kan fana way red carpet anyway what we'll do we'll introduce the yellow carpet
yellow tale president red to president
but on a more serious note, you know,
yeah.
Central government and local government authorities, they are partners, and they must accept that. You know, and local government authorities, you know, wherever they need help, whether material-wise or human resources-wise, central government should help them. Because their failure is a failure of the central government. And also shows Kafuko, they do not want decentralization to work efficiently for the country. Kat really. Mune yatina. Dunia be nganyilla ne Kafuko fonko bus services are provided by municipal councils.
Yeah.
Talib planet urban transportation service eta ko GTS ya ko na bo sol fenke ibe pensioners ñol la ko do yata ya ko fonko assessment melan ka ko e ka depreciate le I mean, why don't you leave them to do that?
Do their job.
The other day I had them basaba kafoko Talib road project no ko funding aje. I know what they are doing.
Talib said the NRA is trying to stop it.
Yes.
The NRA came and issued a statement to say that is not true.
Let us be clear. Ndelu. Kuma can say for on an important and serious matter like this. No, we don't do that. Because we want near fact check. You will find that we are accurate. I mean why would Talib say such a thing? And but you can see the scornful way he said it. I don't know what company. What company? Well, construct. So, but then, being disdainful, scornful. I don't know what company, Let us see whether it will happen. Because already they are planned Kafka Tekela. Because Yemiro Kafako does not going to be credit to Talib. And credit to Talib is credit to UDP.
Now, are you concerned that this commission might hurt your party very bad?
We don't think so. We don't think so.
I'm telling you.
We don't think
the reason I'm a media person, and we get sources right?
Even fact, as they sit every day, we know individuals who are there, who are doing things there. No longer there. Until fana nyumbanko dinglete there. Mumban nyumbanko dinglete. Fem beta makanjeto, we know it. But Gambian call nak.
Don't be surprised if the recommendations come and
It doesn't. No, for me,
have serious bans against all of your key people. For me, because the Allah Council chairman only mayor solo.
Fatu, for me, war na manke na kata won't surprise me because ngalo ne ka foko. This commission is a tool to fight UDP. By be fellalde ba Gambian kolo wala UDP kolo ibe fellale même ndiate yake, and at the end of the day it will be disgrace la janto fadu yesindi la report okunda and we are asked to justify. In any case, we have the Court of Appeal here. We are up to the Supreme Court here. So are you telling me Kafako, Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court judges, they will play politics in this? Well, let us see. Let them but they should know Kafako Gambian call in Telomo. Adibe feng keka, ibe fanne keka Gambian call Jawoti. Adiye Gambian call Jawya, Katama Nyimbe Dol Kabina Kolale Bullet. Inyana do consensuously. Ikanabula mon ikana lamwe mola me yalan kafuko abe put on the wrong path nga kol kata janne de kunu is ibe sain kan kotenka ama nyinya
programme banta la silang wato banta kasha diata pati UDP yalo wati no sila do bina bentano wato kolbe kandirinde fal dunta badi mbunne ma ngajele sayende dia mo kol talatal de wato kol siata dum bake social media wali junior jol jana mag jare jol jana sisla jol jana fode jawla jol bara kamta dal fal dunta badi mbunne silande kol be mirankil le sofa muna be kere. What is happening there? What is happening?
Yalo ni ko mirankili awako miranja mali sutandu miranja madu
yalo kampol siatal non camp
mol ka kampol mire faye mol ka kampo mire faye mol ka kampo mire faye adu mol fana left kampol yo soto adu ale bala patio me fasa kan kampu ka soto to ala ba la patio me fasa adu UDP ala lebe UDP fasa kande kambu ka soto to UDP nya ton ka kilinde soto bi fo jannin sama fan janni ala be men kala wala jannin sama janya da ko UDP o kilinde soto
and all 2026 candidate
hani
Amad ba ko eritango amad ba ko na friend ako ngi respect le ngi bunya ngi horoma ako bari silang ebi beke nyimbanko ako bari sa retire
amad ba alaf tala nga retire
bara batata sila yefo nyone
ato jal bara fa mada fa ko mamba da folo katu yalo lafta men jala nyimbanko yi ni ngoje yalo no nyin chano jalo constitution ni yalo no pastor no ten no ten is for yes sula tanyi na banko den sita ngata si bansang ngatil fulake bansang ngate bala ngata dobo ngatil sabaki joto ngana bansang you know ngata ni sati ngani tada then koto ma antuman ge na ye meya ngambor ndam banjul ngana
juwe
you know yes but nak January ke hani fo nga nyasle folo alhamdulillah jato be kende yarin alhamdulillah jato be kende yarin so
you look very good
no hamolu pour Cherno Diallo draft constitution anata falindrol be kala jeto baro sata kafako Gambian ko lafta wala a pasta
so come to 2026 da wala UDP la candidate
hani mofo
han say ka inin dimba man ka cha fulo ka kabrin ka cha ta last time iko nyolo ko nin tata nin badi ngole ka cha nin ka fu nyole ka cha
yalo nin lola
anti maye mne fa anti sali mne fa
yalo nin lola ro keta lo
debita wole ni nka
nin lola lo ni ya lola ot moli nana ka cha or ku memma lola
bari 2025 le kon
2025
nin December sita drombe election yala kon
mambala wala
we just have about 10-11 months
mambala wala but UDP mala lola roke ni UDP lola roke ya me then nimbek natra be kacha kele
natra be kacha
kele se kacha kele
natra
be kacha kele se kacha kele
o ko ita kuma ko ringolo
ba bi membentel UDP ko wol kon
bi dabolo
UDP la long community UDP lafta meke banko ya mbole dunkan banku dunkol bulu banko dunkol dum fanal bole mutankan fe so that nim fenkata nin kombe fa tourele kala jeto UDP mo be anin Gambia bo be nga kosnyola nga fa toure nga kato fa toure like president
amin alma wakela president ya odiata president Fatou stop bringing the same story ibuka la fi kan ni flag bi ala ko ibuka la fi wo fo ibuka songa fo anu dolba fula we zara ko kacha diata kacha jam fata rafta mun fo la badi ngole mimbe jubir ango ajira le statement o bondi congress ol kete NPP ko lafta ya sawni bara le statement o barisila atoli alta ke kai IC tol me take ko lafta extend le IC bi dane muna to lamne ko atol wona ma ñosto fenna fo ajira la mo le statement o bone hayna ke mo bo jam fane statement ba bonde ko ay ko bari ko alla pati atol yal take dole take NPP ko yi lafte batulal fo ñaata demande woni o manke kasiti fo amanke kasiti amanke kasiti ali bu
amanke kasiti awanya nakala kasiti nadra ka foko ne Ibrahima Tabora Mani ni ajankata ni busuro talala kan Ibrahima Tabora Mani ko lafta are yenden dinna and dalilati je demandal ko sota yalo be meñi tane kan kafko kabe kafko IEC lafta la impartiality ita fangle mol beza fe letarola kamol haklo bulan kafko al benyanta la congress kade kadna manke kusal sotno jeto ita man extension nyinin ka pour lokum fula lokum saba bo fo karnane wo fonko wakonta filo warta baka barbeto itello momoti medialon ka foko itelle ka ko kuntu mbala la tene wala mbala la tabetelle bulu ya la nyaawo nyama abe bulu jeto UDP kanyi ya fanka dan pour ka itane ka foko maybe we expect IEC to really kaitande kavoko nga sartol melfo o sartol anyanta bulele no model kadu ko nyamanke first time to NPP ba for extension of time ila first congress ni yakele well after several many months after ila second anniversary yake but maybe maybe IEC dalila kotele so me yadne badile
so Morocco malang ko ngin ka are you guys prepared for the by election in February by election object
well announcement katale IEC announced le so mamira we will leave any.
Woman like alla position wala ko di?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mamira by election be kala nyim banko kan me yaron ka contenda bulala jeto.
Okay.
God will not leave the terrain, the political terrain, will not leave it vacant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Watu bantala sila ilafta mune fola sarodi la molwe jubero la tanuntel ning Gambeno be minwe jubero ilafta mune fole 2025 Baroko is going to be a good year for the country. Ilafta mune jikidi la Gambeno la minwe jubero la nyinteme.
Well, lafta Gambian ko le nyilon ko jiko membe UDP la koto serum hani wo jiki kiling la bijeto mantra politique mala ntellomu kafoti me yalan kaf ko yali nyasoto e gamben ko yali nyasoto ntellon kafoti me yalan kaf ko e preta do ya beye soto nyim banko ya akuntanto mandora ko be in soto nyim banko la ko ta kuntanto ko nyim banko 1996 Gambia dingle jiko men soto nyim patioto hani be o jike kilingole bijeto kafako nyim banko UDP ba bondi lale ay ka Gambia be la nafa kante hani nyo sabanyolo ay kela nafa kante ban sinyi laje to ko mo kana kuke membe fitno wulla banko ko meli alon kafo ko e jiktanyen ko e be semberi molle la sembo be mel bulu afo ko sembe tol bulu sembe tol bulu mu meke sembo ala damane tati anin mome ya fan tankandi toñandi rola bollom sembe tiwolte oto mo kana mira kafo ko ibe semberi mansa kundala men diate isafo men diate isake anu kola fana men karfo men dilam bela alga ko me yaron kafo ko nin na nafa bi jeto du kalan kana jube jing fo fatu le anya ton kaya bang podum fo tombo sed le anya ton kaya an kano jube nafanya abe mol nafa la bang fata mol nafa na be mol nafa la même banya to kalo man wo me bla fayda man ko man ko kuti ku mate and then ning nana ko tamani wanya fan damante mo sobo abe wala abe kumata la kabo ba nimbe sobiri nyola ngambulo do nyobul fana pour ka ku tamande abe kole ala baki o talimbe ngakata sobo nga sobol bondi da mantem
sabol bondi da matem
nga sobol bondi da mantem.
Thank you very much Mr. Darboe barka baki ka jam fata diata bar ngeten to nge jay fo wato wati all the time. Your doors are always open. Thank
you very much.
Thank you very much. To the technical team, until we come your way next week, and to you all watching, thank you so much for watching, and we will be back again next week with another person. Until we come your way, good night to you all. Allah barakabak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father.
Thank you.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we